let's just get to it. I'm Charles Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite from Sunrise, Florida, when Tony Khan decided to book this show into fucking oblivion. Screwdrivers Takeshita taking a really bad bump, and we had messy stuff all over Dynamite. For every good thing that AEW does, and when they do good, when they do great things, it's really fucking great. It reminds me of wrestling I loved during the Monday Night Wars. The problem is, there were two sides of the Monday Night Wars. The really, really good shit, and then the overbooked, messy shit. On all three programs, ECW, WCW, WWE, and just... It's not even the fault of the talents at this point. It's just a goddamn mess. They have a pay-per-view coming up in just about a month. And I'm going to buy it because I buy all their pay-per-views. Because usually there's 1 to 2 really great matches that make it worth it. But goddamn, the television's just been a slog lately. So they apparently have scrapped AEW Dark Elevation. Probably smart considering they finally got the Ring of Honor tapings off the ground. That's good. The 2 YouTube shows, they served their purpose for a bit, but then it got to be overkill. It just got to be where, like, when I was in Seattle, they would tape, a couple matches for Elevation before Dynamite and then the rest afterwards. And it just got to where it was really, really long. There's giving the people their money's worth for the prices they pay for tickets, but nevertheless. So they were in Sunrise, Florida, apparently near Fort Lauderdale. I wasn't familiar with Sunrise, but I'm like, okay, heard of Fort Lauderdale. You have the Florida territory, great rich history as far as wrestling, and Eddie and Mike Graham would be turning over in their graves if they saw this goddamn show. So, the arena apparently has a 20,000 seat capacity, and according to WrestleTix on Twitter, was set up for about 6,100. They used half of the arena, and there were times where the crowd sounded kind of loud, and other times where it sounded rather cavernous. If any of you were in attendance, did it actually sound loud? In attendance, did it sound echoey? I just wonder if they're not doing a good job miking the crowd and if the audio issues are just affecting how it comes across on television. So we start off with Orange Cassidy versus Bandito. I'm sick of the AEW International Championship. And I know that's a bit too wordy. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Orange Cassidy. Put Bandito against an actual wrestler next time and I'll watch. But I'm sick of it. Imagine if they actually focused this much on giving somebody a winning streak. Hobbs, Wardlow, Starks, somebody that could talk, that could wrestle. And yes, people liked some of the stuff Orange Cassidy does. I don't. At one point, it seemed like we got a pseudo possible tap out that the referee, or a fake tap out, or fake out tap out rather, during the stretch muffler. Hard to tell. I mean, Orange Cassidy was flailing around a whole bunch. Maybe I was just looking for things that could possibly be halfway, interesting in this match, unlike most of the things in Orange Cassidy's matches. And Bandito is good. Bandito is really good. That one-handed press slam that he hits is impressive. And then the frog splash, and then beach break, do. Still champion, 20 minutes for this. Bandito's toast, Bandito toast, as it were. Rampage is apparently on earlier this Friday. That's at 2:30 p.m. my time. I'm on the West Coast. 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I may have that review up just after the show's done. I don't know. I gotta see a movie that day, and I gotta run some errands. So we'll see. I will review that show though, like I always do. Even if Rampage doesn't really mean much of anything. God forbid, I really hope this apparently planned AEW Collision show actually feels fresh and actually is halfway decent. So anyway, they do stupid comedy with Cassidy and Bandito just to further cement the fact that Bandito is toast. Renee is with Jack Perry and Darby. An alliance? Possibly? Because Darby says, if I had known they were going to do that, I would have been there for you instead of in the rafters. So could you watch my back? And, not really, I don't think I will. But don't worry. Do good out there, kid. So the officials come out and say, Team TNA, get the hell out of here. Don't be here anymore. So Jeff Jarrett took on Dax Harwood. Catch stayed in the back. Hey, wrestling by wrestlers on an AEW program. When they do it right, there's some good stuff here, but unfortunately, I'm sick of Jarrett, and I know he just lost his dad. I know that he's being put out there because, honestly and sadly, this is an indictment of the current landscape of wrestling. Jarrett is one of the better goddamn workers on the roster as far as how he can put a match together. I've never been the biggest Jeff Jarrett fan. His main event runs were never all that great. But as far as in-ring work, he gets it. The diving headbutt by Dax, please don't. I mean, I'm not one to tell people what to do with their bodies, but please don't do that. We got a pile driver for 2, and then Sanjay shows up, even though he was kicked out. They got messy with the near falls before this. He chases him around the ring, and then the stroke. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Jarrett wins another match on a television program in 2023. So Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are going to take on FTR. Mark Briscoe is going to have to make a decision and likely please go with FTR. Please do something good with Mark Briscoe. Use this goodwill and use his unusual charisma to just do something better than to team him with Team TNA. Or break Lethal away and have Lethal and Mark Briscoe, even though Jay and Mark might be a little bit too on the nose. Tony Khan then makes an announcement. It was a little bit more measured. It was also pre-taped. The Owen Hart Cup is going to be, I guess, the opening ceremony is going to take place at Double or Nothing. The matches will take place in Canada. The finals in Calgary, dramatic pause, Alberta, Canada. God, I only wish they could get Lance Storm to be part of that, but I don't think they can. I think he produces for Impact. This is the most measured that I've seen Tony Khan. I also don't think that he had gotten into the Herb Abrams, pile yet. Wardlow then piled on this one jobber guy while Arn, the Kool-Aid Enforcer, was there. Beat him with the Powerbomb Symphony in like a minute. If only they had done this with Wardlow and kept up this momentum and even had a few ebbs and flows and done something good with him, then yes, the crowd popped, but it doesn't feel the same. Arn then cuts a promo. Wardlow is AEW's dynasty. He could have been. I don't know about now, and that's not his fault. There are, of the 150 talents back there, they don't have what you have. 150's undercutting it, Arn. They have too many people signed. Wardlow will have to do bad things. Gouge eyes out, use chairs, all this. And when he says use chairs, here's Christian Cage, the Concerto Master himself, one half of it, and Luchasaurus. We're having a stare down. This match is not going to be good because Luchasaurus, we've seen the most from him, and that's all he can do. He can do stuff in short bursts, not against a big guy like this. MJF and Sammy, they kiss each other on the forehead, they're doing all this, and they're all palling around and all this. Sammy got MJF a vest. MJF got Sammy his own scarf. And then at one point, they were mocking the whole thing about the four-way and laying down, would bring about, the desecration of the business or whatever. And, oh yeah, they listen. They listen to that podcast. You know what podcast I'm talking about. They listen. And the fans know that MJF in particular listens, and they don't like it. And this was ridiculous, but they made it work. And RJ City, the poster child for late term, never mind, I'm not going to finish that statement. Whatever RJ City is, his mother should have been slapped with criminal charges for giving birth to him. That's all I'm going to say. If he's supposed to be annoying, then great. I don't see how a backstage interviewer being annoying is actually going to be beneficial to this company when they have too many people, especially Alex Marvez being a backstage interviewer. But fortunately, the Blackpool Combat Club beat the shit out of him. God, if he's never on television again, I'll be happy. Seriously, who, what, why is RJ City? God, if I was a doctor, I would have slapped the mother. Anyway, Darby gets a pop. Sammy's, tramp, unfortunately, is still there. And yeah, I'm going to call Ty that because that's what she is. And she doesn't wrestle anymore, evidently. Or if she does, it's on AEW's YouTube show, which I don't watch anymore. MJF comes out with his own brand of pickles. They're kosher. And MJF was the highlight, especially when this match got messy. That being said, Darby and Sammy, the Pillars final, they wrestled, they did stuff, they made the dives, and they made the outside stuff work, and something was working, cooking. It was percolating, as the kids don't say. But wrestling, pickle talk was great. Darby got busted open, with a corner spot right above the eye. That was good. Sammy hit a moonsault for the break. Darby hit a dive, but got caught in the cutter later. And then they're doing good, and then they get it, and then Sammy gets a table. Why? Then Ty shows up. Why? Oh, wait, somebody brought out extra wood, so naturally Ty's there to take it. And then 6:30 through the table, no DQ. Why? No DQ for that. Keep that in mind. And then MJF comes down and tosses Darby a skateboard. Sammy pretends to do a lie, cheating, and stealing thing. And the referee sees Darby with the skateboard and calls for a DQ. So no DQ for the table, the 360 or 6:30 through the table. But no. Oh no, I didn't see you hit him with the skateboard, but that's good enough for me. And then Shivani's getting a message from Tony Khan. Jack Perry comes down and I'm just going to stop calling him Jungle Boy. He comes down with a chair. The crowd's going nuts with this and everything to stop the beatdown. Darby's upset because he didn't come out sooner. To be fair, Jack said he wasn't going to come out and help. And then Shivani says, listen up, you prick, because, of course, the commentator is allowed to basically say that. And says, it's going to be Jack Perry and Darby against MJF and Sammy. And if you guys win, MJF and Sammy, which I don't doubt you will, then it stays a regular match. But if Darby and Jack Perry win, then it's going to be a Pillars 4-way match. Which is what I was fucking calling they were going to do. And I think MJF can make it work. But my thing is okay, if it's a 4-way and he pins one of the guys to retain, because for the love of God, MJF better retain his championship in that match, then what are you going to do? Go with, say he pins Sammy. Then are you going to go with Jungle Boy in a singles match and Darby? And are you going to try to push Darby to All In? I don't think you can go that far. They booked themselves into a goddamn corner here. It should be Darby and MJF, but I knew they were going to do a 4-way. MJF is pissed at everyone. Here's Adam Cole, baby, to call out Chris Jericho. He wants him in the worst way. Jericho shows up on screen looking older than goddamn dirt and terrible. HD TV is not kind to Chris Jericho, the insurrection god himself. I'm not going to come out there, but my goons will. Why is Jake Hager wearing his pajamas and a stupid hat? Don't answer that because I don't know, because I just want this guy off my camera. And anytime if I'm watching something, if I watch him on my TV, I instantly fast forward. If I'm watching a YouTube video, like, AEW clip and he happens to pop up, I skip. Because Jake Hager is an embarrassment to professional wrestling. I don't care how good he is, technically in the ring, he's not interesting. He has been a waste of money. And then suddenly, Orange Cassidy and Bandito show up because we're just going to knock Bandito further down the goddamn ladder. And it's 4-on-3, and even Hager with his stupid pajamas and all that, he can't possibly be beaten. But then suddenly music, and it's Roderick Strong. Well, I guess he was just waiting out his WWE contract. Honestly, it's probably better that he's here. Now, bench clearing thing, all that, he beats down the rest of the guys, 2.0 for what they're worth, not much of anything. And a pop for the hug. So 2/4 of the Undisputed Era are there. If Kyle O'Reilly does come back, I don't know if he will. I know he had neck fusion surgery. That was in late June, early July, I want to say. Mid-July. If he does come back, it's probably not going to be for a few months, but if it's Roderick Strong and Adam Cole, baby, as a team, good. You mix him with Orange Cassidy, you might as well just throw the whole thing away. Good on Roderick Strong. They need talent there. They need good in-ring talent. Just do not have Roderick Strong talk. Not even in pre-tapes. Don't have him talk. So he talks better than his wife. At least I think Marina Shafir is his wife, but we still don't know her. So QTTV. Hobbs is toast. I don't know why there's a Cinemax After Dark extra in this group. I don't know why I don't know why any of this is happening. I don't know why QT is an on-screen character on a wrestling program. Taya Valkyrie with Jade, and Layla Gray, and the TBS Championship. And if Taya Valkyrie uses Road to Valhalla, that's it. She's DQ'd. She's used other finishers before, by the way. Just want to point that out there. But, okay. That's not the worst thing in the world. You handicap the face, see what happens with the heel. Unfortunately, Jade is about where she's going to be. I mean, yes, she can't always get matches all the goddamn time because there's a dearth of talent, an insane amount of, a number of talents, and there's only so many matches to do every single week and so much time every single week. I get it. At the same fucking time, Jade is not good. Jade has almost regressed. At one point, she had a goddamn superplex and then kipped up but sold her back. That's great selling right there. Makes the superplex pointless. And then a destroyer. And if everybody and their mother and their smother and their smother's brother and their smother's brother's brother hadn't done a destroyer since Petey Williams popularized it, and I love Petey Williams, but he was the best at it. Whatever. At one point, Taya hits a stomp. And Taya is great. She's just not a fucking magician. And Jade just is never going to be what... She is never going to look... or never going to look in the ring as good as she looks in 8x10 or standing there for her entrance. She's never going to be as good as they need her to be. And this undefeated streak, by the way, Jade won with the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll-up hold in the trunks. 1, 2, 3. And then Taya tries to attack Aubrey. And people are like, oh, Aubrey taking a bump. Aubrey's taken bumps before. She can do it. I saw her take a kick from Rey Fenix, and half the freaking little room wanted to kill him. You don't hurt our Aubrey. If this brings back the violent Wera Loca, I'm all for it. I think that's how you say it. If not, I do apologize. And I like Taya Valkyrie, and just whatever. Britt has a black eye backstage, and Jamie Hayter is in a sling. I really hope that this is just a precaution. She's not actually injured. But she says, well, you keep saying this to the hospital, but you declared war. Oh, dear God me. They're going to do blood and guts for the women, and they're going to do blood and guts for the men. Watch them do bookended blood and guts. Watch them just do 2 blood and guts matches on one Dynamite. Watch them do that. Watch them do it either before Double or Nothing or watch them do it after Double or Nothing. I would be very surprised if they don't do that. Anyway, so Jay and Juice, sipping on Jay and Juice, stop thinking about it. Take on Shawn and Starks on Rampage. Shawn Spears, by the way. And Cash and Lethal are going to be on Dynamite. More stuff, apparently. Excalibur, I think, absolutely had about 5 strokes reading all that stuff. And Danielson joins commentary for Omega and Takeshita with Callis versus Butcher and Blade, Kip with Penelope. This is your main event. This is given 10 minutes on a cable broadcast in the main event spot. Takeshita won with a knee strike. That is all I'm going to basically say about this. As much as I've knocked Omega, as much as I will continue to knock Dawn, NDA, Callis, this was not a main event match. And then they try to do more BCC stuff. Danielson gets on the mic. I see one professional wrestler and one amateur that's resting on his reputation he built in Japan. Then he messes up the Elite and BCC, and it was really awkward, really bad, and he really struggled to get that back. And then the BCC attack. And then we bring the Screwdriver in. Oh boy, the Bucks run in. Almost said Cesaro. Claudio runs to the stage, gets super kicked, and then the Bucks run down, and they're gonna attack Mox with the Screwdriver. But then Danielson gets Takeshita and says, hey, go stop your friends from doing that. Just go. And Takeshita stops. No, Kenny, no, don't do that. And then Takeshita's torn. Torn Takeshita. Sounds like some kind of Japanese manga. And then Takeshita will not join the BCC, so then they hit him in the head with the Screwdriver multiple times, and my fucking God. Danielson is a heel, yes, do that. I don't mind violence, but the Screwdriver thing is stupid. It brings it right down to Nick Gage levels of shit, or Abdullah the Butcher with the fork. Except Abdullah the Butcher drew money. God, this was a rotten ending. And I love Danielson as a heel. This is not good. This is going to lead to a blood and guts thing. This is absolutely going to lead to that. I contend they're going to do men's and women's blood and guts matches, and they're gonna human centipede them together on the same show. This is not a good show. AEW really need to kick things up. They really do. And I don't mean kick things up like, oh, just go for blood and violence and go all this. They need to have a centralized focus, and they need to do some good. They can't just have it where people are doing the same things, just maybe with like one little thing change. Oh, we had this brawl, we brought this table out, but don't worry, we're going to bring the table out after the next match, or we're going to bring the screwdriver out twice during this segment. Agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm Jarwithlin. I'll see you soon.